One of my favorite lines from Frank Herbert is, when you end a novel, it's like a train coming into the station that doesn't stop. You just jam on the brakes and let the sparks fly into people's imagination.
Here we have our character creation screen. Expression and customization is one of our key pillars in Dune Awakening, and that starts here. There's a lot of customization options available for you, but if you want a starting off point, or just want to move past the customization and straight into gameplay, you can make use of some of the preset character looks we've got available. If you're like me and like making your own character from scratch, however, then there's plenty of options for you to play with. You can change your body type and your general body shape, tweaking anything from height to the thickness of your arms or legs to adding freckles or even vitiligo. There's too many small details for me to delve into all of them, but it's safe to say that if you love sliders, we've got plenty of them. Apart from being able to tweak the minute details of your nose or your mouth, you can even affect your age. Look at that. Looks great to me. The other classics like hair, beards, and eyebrows all have different choices for you to make or affect. But on top of that, you can also add in tattoos and facial scars. We even let you choose how faded with age they've become. Play around a bit with our makeup options, and soon enough I think you'll have a character you can enjoy exploring Arrakis with. Now that we've selected our physical appearance, we give our character a name and we continue, because we're more than just a pretty face. Customization is about more than just how you look. It's about who you are and where you come from.
Have they told you what I am? Then I will sift your words for lies. Let's begin. Where were you born?
Your character's background affects how they get to interact with the people of Arrakis, giving you different dialogue options depending on who you are. For the sake of this video, we'll be choosing the home planet of the Atreides, Caladan.
A world of water. Homeworld of the Atreides.
Next, we determine your caste, where you belong in the strict hierarchies of the Imperium. We'll select Na Familia for now, belonging to the noble caste.
Did you give bad advice? Or make a bad deal? To be close to power is to walk the knife's edge. You had a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
Unlike the other choices, this gives us a starting ability, something we can use right as we boot into the game. Don't worry, you're not locking yourself into a class or a specific archetype. In Dune Awakening, we allow you to create your own playstyle. So if you want to combine Mentat abilities with those of the Bene Gesserit, all you need to do is find the right people to train you and choose the loadout that works best for you. For right now though, we'll choose the Mentat.
Come here. Kneel. Put your hand in the box. I hold at your neck the Gonjabar, the high-handed enemy. Don't pull away or you will die. Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. Arrakis is the key, and the Fremen are missing. You will go to Arrakis as our agent, prisoner. You have one task. Find the Fremen, wake the sleeper. You will know when it is done.
And with that cryptic message, your journey begins.
Arrakis is a test, is what the Fremen say. And the player comes right into the heart of that test. Dune Awakening is a survival game at the base level. And it begins like a traditional survival game, like you're looking for water, you're looking for shelter. Where will you find water in the desert? Will you take it from others? So when we talk about survival, sure, we start with the basic kind of survive. And then when you've survived long enough, it's now time to think about political survival and how you progress within the universe. The approach we take when building a world like Arrakis is we kind of have to think about where are the stark lines and how do we draw these epic spaces? How do we make them feel huge and the player feels dwarfed by everything they see?
If we looked at references from some of the hottest deserts in the world, the visuals that we saw from those deserts weren't enough. We needed this world to be even harsher.
So we've been working with Legendary since the very beginning. They've been very generous with sharing with us assets from this.
In a game, you have the opportunity to sort of create your own narrative and create your own journey. The most exciting aspect for me is the fact that you can take what you've enjoyed and loved and you can build your own stories and your own places. And that to me is the ultimate goal, is to have complete control.
The most iconic creature in the Dune universe is the sandworm of Arrakis. And so we've tried to represent this in the game in multiple ways. So as a player, your first steps on the open sand, you hear the hiss of the sand in the distance as a sandworm begins to move towards you. And when it gets close, you hear the roar as it erupts from the sand nearby. And at that point, you have only seconds to live if you cannot make it to rocky ground. So this is your first experience with sandworms, and these are the little ones. And this legacy means that we need to really pay attention to what we're creating and how we create it for the fans. Because I think at the heart of this, there's a lot of people out there who really want to live in the universe that Frank Herbert created, and they really want to live in the visual world of the films that they see from Villeneuve. And so we need to create the gap between those two possibility spaces and create a game world where people can live out their fantasies that they've taken from Dune. And yes, it's a huge legacy, and it feels at times extremely overwhelming, but we really hope that we can deliver something for everybody.
It starts in the desert. You cling to life. You find others, friends. You wander the dry, dirty streets of civilization. In the ancient halls of the testing stations, you find answers. You seek the secrets of the ever-shifting sands. Spice. You do all of these things in my dream, Sleeper. I am terrified of what happens when you awaken.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. But the humans that do awaken.
One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. I created the future until it created me. But I see a narrow way, a path that might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl? Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakis. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.